Your fear of looking stupid is holding you back.
Hey y'all, hey, it's Troyia Monay, back to y'all with another video. In today's video, you guys, we are going to be talking about how to overcome your fear of being seen trying. How to overcome your fear of posting on social media, becoming that content creator you said you wanted to become, or starting that business or starting that brand that you said that you wanted to go through and start. Having fear is something that we all have, right? And it's something that I feel like we are never going to go through and get rid of. We are always going to be fearful of something. And I think along the years, one thing that has really helped me is to really realize that fear is completely kind of man-made, and it's usually not something that we're born with, right? And I think the biggest thing that we have to realize is that the fear is inevitable. And I always tell my clients, even, and a lot of my friends, is if you weren't scared, I would be if you weren't fearful, I would be a little bit nervous for you, right? Like we are human beings, right? It's a man-made kind of emotion to be fearful. And if you think about it, we grew up with fear. And that sounds crazy to say, like, how did we grow up with fear? And I think the thing is, if you really sit and think about it, kids and babies, they are extremely fearless, right? They only cry when you show emotion. So, for example, I was at a theme park with my boyfriend's sisters and brothers, or sisters rather, and one of the little girls, she's like running and she falls, right? And nobody said anything. And she got up, she dusted herself off, and she was good. Another one of the little girls, she's running, she falls. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Oh, you're okay? We're panicking and we're projecting our fear onto her, right? And that's the same exact thing that happens with us as adults. Sometimes I'll go to the gas station late at night. I'll go do something that my mom feels like my life is in danger, and she's projecting her fears onto me. And that's the same exact thing that happens to us, right? Our friends and our family members, they're projecting their insecurities and their fears onto you by telling you, are you sure you want to start this business? Are you sure you want to become a content creator? Are you sure you want to jump out there and do this leap of faith thing that it is that you're thinking about going through and doing? Right? And it's because people project their fears onto you. And you have to go through and think about, how is it going to look if I allow my fear of this one thing that I'm trying to do to be projected onto me doing the thing that I said that I was going to do, right? And I feel like the biggest thing that I have learned over the years is to really go through and to partner with the fear. When I first started content creation, y'all can exit out of this video after it's done and go back to my first video.
All right, y'all, so let's just jump right in. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to discuss is a little bit of more background information about me personally and my brand and my past and everything like that, just so.
I was shy. I was timid. I was nervous. I would never get in front of the camera and talk all out like I do now and show my personality and show my attitude and different things like that. I was fearful. And I felt like the thing is that I want to start this video off by figuring out what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of, right? Are you afraid of judgment? Are you afraid of what people are going to say or what people are going to think of you? Usually 9 times out of 10, that's usually one of the main reasons why we don't do the things that we're supposed to be doing, or we don't start the businesses, or we don't start the brands, is because we're thinking about everyone else. And if you guys don't listen to Social Proof Podcast, make sure you do. I got to go through and give Donnie Wiggins a shout out right now. She said something really great, and she says it like very often in a lot of their podcast videos. She says that, let me see, I wrote it down right here in my notes. What validates these people why are you holding these people up to such a high standard? And what validates them for you to allow their judgment to come into you, right? Like, what validates these people? Are they more successful than you? Are they smarter than you? Do they have more going on than you? And 9 times out of 10, y'all, when you really sit back and think about it, the people that we're afraid of getting judgment from don't got no motion. They don't have no motion. They usually don't have nothing going on. It might be your friends and your family from high school. It might be your auntie them who's sitting on the porch all day not doing anything, right? Like, what validates these people for you to allow them to have them at such a high standard, right? Like, I would be, and me saying this from a place of like not being fearful anymore of what people have to say about me. I don't care anymore, you guys. I don't care what people have to say about me, because at the end of the day, just like my grandma used to say all the time, is people are going to talk about you whether you are doing good. People are going to talk about you whether you are doing bad. So we might as well give them something great and phenomenal to talk about, right? So I think that's the first thing, is figuring out what is the fear. What am I fearful of? What am I afraid of first? And allowing you to kind of identify that and figure out the root cause, right? One of my great mentors, Lashana West, she is a mental health therapist for entrepreneurs. She always says 10x the why, right? So why are we fearful? If we figure out, okay, I'm fearful because of people's judgment. Why are we fearful of their judgment? And go on from there. And you'll get to the root cause eventually as it relates to what this thing is that you're fearful of becoming, right? So I got my notes here because I want to make sure I stay on track, you guys. The next thing that I really want to move into as relates to overcoming this fear of being seen trying, putting yourself out there, posting on social media, becoming that business owner or that content creator, is figuring out first, what do you want to be known for? And I feel like this is one of those questions that are a little bit hard to kind of go through and answer, right? It's like, what do I want to be known for? When it's all said and done, when, you know, you have lived your life and God is calling you back home, what do you want to be known for? What do you want people to say about you? And that goes for, it's a lot deeper, of course, than just content creation and business owning. But let's go into that lane of what do you want to be known for when it comes to content creation? What do you want to be known for when it comes to being a business owner, right? So if we're thinking about lingerie or loungewear, what is the first brand we usually think of, right? Maybe a Victoria's Secret or a Skims. When we're thinking about athletic wear and sneakers and tennis shoes, what is the first brand we're thinking of? Nike, right? When we're thinking of electronics and cell phones, guess what we're thinking of? Apple, right? And we want that same thing to be happening to us as content creators and as business owners. Is when people think of an industry or when they think of a lane, they think of you. And that should be your number one priority, is how can I become the most known in this particular industry that I'm in? How can I become the most known as it relates to, you know, the particular content genre that I'm trying to get into, right? And I feel like that is going to help so many of you. It's figuring out, what do I want to be known for, and tapping into that every single chance you get. So moving on, I want to definitely dive into a couple of different points here that I feel like is going to really help a lot of you guys when it comes to overcoming this fear of posting and putting yourself out there. And the first thing I want to talk about is embracing the imperfections, you guys. Embracing imperfections. And this is something that we all struggle with. Even me recording this video right now, I probably hit record maybe 3 or 4 times before we actually got into the mojo of things. And it's because of my fear of imperfection, right? I want to make sure that I'm putting a great video out there. I want to make sure that I'm talking clear. My mic is all set up. I want to make sure my lighting is good, right? So figuring out, why do I have this fear of imperfection? Where does this fear of imperfection even stem from? Where does it even come from, right? In partnering with that fear of imperfection. And I feel like one of the best things that you can do is to enjoy the journey. If all of us got to our goal tomorrow, what story do we have to tell? That's powerful when you sit and think about it, right? Like, what story are we going to be able to tell? What's going to be our testimony? How are we going to be able to impact people with our story? It ain't going to be no story to share because you got to your goals like this. It's going to be difficult for people to relate to you because 9 times out of 10, people aren't blowing up, on social media, or their businesses aren't usually blowing up overnight, right? So figuring out, how can I enjoy the journey? And that's something that I'm realizing more and more, is the power of enjoying the journey and not just trying to be, an overnight success. Because what is going to be the testimony that I'm going to be able to share with my audience if I blew up overnight, right? Enjoying that journey. And one great way that you can kind of get a visual representation of enjoying the journey or seeing the journey in real time is looking at your favorite creators, y'all. Go to your favorite creators. My favorite creators, I love me some Aaliyah's Face. I love Jackie Aina. Who else do I love? I love Kyra Amunique. I love, who else? Omar. I don't know how to say his last name. Terasaki, something like that. I love those creators. I love them, right? And one thing that I would do so often sometimes when I'm in a funk or I feel like I'm not growing fast enough, I go back to their first videos. You can easily do that on YouTube, you guys. Go to their first videos. Go to their first Instagram post, their first TikTok post. The Alex Earls of the world, or the Monay McCarmichaels, or the Keith Leaves. Go on their post. See what their first post was compared to their most recent. And I promise you, the quality is probably trash. The audio looks terrible. They probably stuttering and talking slow. They don't have the confidence that they have now. And the reason why is because there's a journey here. Usually 9 times out of 10, people aren't just blowing up on social media overnight. You guys get it, right? So making sure that we understand that this is a process. This is not supposed to be something that's going to go from A to Z, you know? And I think that's another thing that we can do too to overcome that fear is we're always looking for validation. And that's the next thing that I want to go through and talk about is we have to focus more so on the value versus the validation. Focus on the value and not the validation. And that's one of the number one things that really allowed me to excel when it comes to being a content creator and also a business owner. And I actually just went and got coffee with one of my friends today, and she was just asking me about my journey and how did I get to where I am as it relates to content creation and everything like that. And I told her I'm really stepping back into my roots. If you guys have been with me since day one, you know I give nothing but straight value for free. A lot of times it's for free. But if you want to go through and book a coaching session with your girl, make sure you click the link down below. But you have to go through and provide your audience with value. When you provide them with value, they like, dang, I can't even imagine what she gonna give if I pay her for it. If I pay her for it, imagine what she gonna give me. Right? So you have to provide your audience with value because now they're going to be like, oh my goodness, she's giving away this for free? That's crazy, right? People aren't just giving away things for free, right? And when it comes to value versus validation, I feel like the biggest thing, which is why a lot of us are struggling with this, is we're looking at our friends and our family to validate us. Those are not going to be your customers, honey. Your customers are going to be strangers. The strangers are going to be who are going to make you rich. The strangers are going to be the people who are going to push your brand, right? Those are going to be the people who are going to be your ride or dies. It's going to be the strangers. It's not going to be your friends and your family from high school, you guys. And when you are posting content and when you are putting yourself out there, one thing that I have to constantly kind of tell myself, even at this, big stage in my career, is I'm providing value for people who I don't know. I'm not posting for my friends and my family. If I was posting for my friends and my family, I'd take selfies at Disney World and take a picture of my coffee and take a picture of what I'm doing on the weekends. You are rarely going to see any of that stuff on my page because I have the mission that I have for myself and my brand is much bigger than that. It's not about my auntie them at the cookout. That's just not what it is. It is way bigger than that. And you have to go through and realize that you are creating content for the masses. I don't want to say the F word, but F your friends and your family. No. We're not posting content for them. We're not going through and creating the business for them. We're creating the business for us and for the people who it's going to serve. Your friends and your family, they going to support you on launch day. And guess what? They own to the next brand. They're supporting you because they love you, but they're not supporting you because they care about your product or they really enjoy it. 9 times out of 10, they're doing it because they love you and they care about you and they want to support you. They want to show you that, but they're not going to be the people who are going to be there, for years to come either. Another thing I want to talk about too, when it comes to focusing on the value and not the validation, is a lot of us be caught up in the numbers. Man, oh man. When I tell y'all, I did not see a steady speed in viewers for a long time when I first started my YouTube channel. I didn't see it. I fell in love with just having fun. And that's another reason why a lot of y'all quit, is because y'all so busy focusing on the numbers or focusing on the clout and who got this sponsorship or who got this brand deal, when you're not even looking at the impact that you're going to make on your audience, right? We're so caught up in the numbers that we're not even having fun with it anymore. And I always tell my clients this: if you've ever booked a coaching call with me, 9 times out of 10, you have heard me say this, is nobody is holding a gun to your head saying, girl, you better start this business, or boy, you better become this content creator, or if you don't do this or start this brand, or else. Nobody's doing that. We're doing this stuff, or we're tapping into this industry because we want to. Ain't nobody making us do none of this stuff. We're doing this because we want to do it. And we want to make a change, and we want to put ourselves out there, and we want to make an impact, and we want to be an inspiration. Nobody's making us do none of this stuff, y'all, if you really sit down and think about it. So if you're saying that you want to do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because Sarah and Lily and Sam, them got something to say about it. F them people. F them people. You doing this for you, right? So the last thing I want to talk about too is just starting off small. I think a lot of times, a lot of us, we bite off a lot more than we can chew sometimes. And we're worried about posting every day. Everyone says post, make sure you post every single day. Well, listen, you haven't even posted it one time. Let's start there. It might be Simone voice. You post one time, okay? Post one time, okay? Post once. We'll get there, right? So if you haven't posted one time in months, let's just start with posting one time a week. Let's just start there for the first month, right? Post one time a week. It don't got to be the best of the best. We just need you to get in the habit of posting. So right now, for example, my Tampa clients who are local to me, I ended up having an event called Coffee and Content. And ever so often, I challenge myself to post every single day for a month straight. And that is a reel. Posting a reel every single day for a month straight, it can be exhausting, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to invite them to come out and to do it with me. And shout out to them. Today is March 13th, and everyone has been extremely consistent. We're almost at that halfway point. And you don't have to post every single day, you guys. Just get in the habit of posting and sharing something and celebrating your small milestones and your small wins. So if you posted every single day for a certain amount of time, kudos to you. Shout out to you because you did something that you weren't probably comfortable with doing. You did something that you were a little bit afraid of doing too at one point as well. So I think that that's really important. And then lastly, make sure you get an accountability partner. It's kind of crazy to me how much we don't network and we don't take advantage of the opportunity to network. Y'all, people are a lot friendlier than we think that they are. People aren't as uptight and shy as we think they are, especially people who are like-minded and especially people who want to grow on social media or grow their brands and their businesses. They want to network. They want to get to know more people. The more people you know, the more you're able to spread your message about yourself or who you are as a creator or about your business as well. So making sure you can find an accountability partner. One thing I want to challenge you guys to do, if you have watched this video this long, is to comment down below your Instagram or your TikTok name. Let's go through and let's build community. Follow people, chit chat with them, set up Zoom calls and brainstorming sessions together so that way you guys can have that accountability partner together. So I just posted this little reel and I'm going to insert it here.
Did you post today? Girl, no, I just got off of work and I am tired. That ain't no excuse. You said you wanted to take content serious in 2024, right? I want to, but I got to figure out a schedule or something that's going to allow me to pay attention to my job because that's how I get my coin and still be able to post consistent. Everybody can't be a full-time content creator like you. Listen, I wasn't always a full-time content creator. When I worked a 9-to-5, I still had to be consistent just like you should. Well, how did you do it? Because by the time I get off of work, I'll be ready to go to sleep. Ain't nobody got time to film, edit, upload, and plan a video all in one day. Girl, trust me, I get it. If I still work my 9-to-5, this is exactly what I do.
Just because you work a 9-to-5 is no excuse as to why you can't create content. Here is a Monday through Sunday schedule on how you can get it done. On Mondays, you are networking and you are engaging with other content creators. On Tuesday, make sure you are researching and also looking at any skills that you can go through and develop as a content creator. On Wednesdays, you are researching and you are brainstorming all of your content ideas. Thursdays, you are putting together your full content calendar and outlining your full content strategy. On Fridays, you are preparing your content, memorizing anything that you need to memorize for Saturday. On Saturday, you are going through and that's going to be your full content day on when you are going to execute all of your content ideas. You need to make sure you set aside anywhere between 2 to 4 hours in order to get this done on Saturdays. On Sundays, you are editing and scheduling all of your content. If you can do this every single week, there's no excuse as to why you're behind, even though you work a 9-to-5. I hope this was helpful. And if it was, let me know in the comments.
About how to become that content creator, even though you have a 9-to-5 and holding yourself accountable and all of the things there too, you guys. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I know I have not been super consistent here on YouTube, but that stops now. Welcome to part 1 of our 4-week content series, you guys. Overcoming the fear of being seen online, overcoming the fear of posting on social media or starting that brand or that business. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope it provided you with some guidance and some direction. If it did, feel free to give this video a big thumbs up. And if you are interested in booking a one-on-one coaching session with me, feel free to click the link down below. I would love to chit chat with you and help you grow your brand and your business. I'll talk to you guys later. Everyone have a great day. Peace.